Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this new episode of Cut TV, brought to you by www.craftsuprint.com. In this episode we're going to be looking at a gorgeous pop-up card from Carol Clarke, and the cup number is 528254_359. The kit is called 3D Cupcakes Rubber Band Pop-Up Card Box. Now, you get 6 sheets in the actual kit, which includes the envelope, and you do get instructions. You will need one of these, a rubber band, because that's going to help with the mechanics of the card. So I'm just hoping mine isn't too big, because it will show you how it operates, but if it's a little bit slack, then I'm terribly sorry. But you wouldn't believe the trouble I've had of finding a rubber band, and which is quite silly really, because it's one of those things that we knew where they were but they weren't. So anyway, enough of my excuses. Let's look at what's in the kit. So we get 6 sheets in the kit. Now this is actually one of the box panels. Carol's included all the score lines and the instructions, not only as written instructions but actually on the sheets as well, so it tells you where to score. And I will say, handy tip, because I score everything of mine while it's still on the sheet, Carol includes dots at the end of the actual sheet on these kits, so when I put them in the trimmer to use as a score, I can marry those dots up so I know I'm scoring along that line there, and so on. So there's a dot there and a dot there, I can marry them up, so that's really handy. Sheet number 2 is the other section of the box, and I will say these dots here that you cut out, another handy tip, I used my crocodile to be able to cut those holes. So if you've got an eyelet punch or something like that, they're roughly about that size, so I found that quite helpful. We've got a sheet of backing paper, maybe you want to line your envelope to match. Now we've got a sheet of decoupage with lots of sentiments, and this is an inner back panel, and gorgeous cupcakes for the actual inside of the box. We've got the envelope, 2 pieces for the envelope, and then we've got all the instructions as well, which is quite handy for somebody like me who needed them. So we're going to actually make the envelope first. So I've cut it out, I've followed Carol's instructions, and I've added tape where the tape needs to go, and I've scored it as well. So what I've done is I've folded the bottom panel to make the envelope, and I'm just going to marry these 2 sections up. And at home, obviously you won't be trying to show everybody how you do it, so you'll be doing it in a way that you'll be able to see it. So I'm simply marrying the 2 edges together like that. I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a nice sharp crease there, and then I'm folding the 2 sides in and using my bone folder to make sure that they're nice and sharp creases. I've got double-sided tape on the back, so I can peel that away, and I can peel the other side as well, like that. Now these are all printed on glossy sheets using the print and post service from Craftsuprint, which gives a great finish, and highly recommend it because the colours are great and it just looks superb. So now we can fold our envelope sections together and press them down. Use my bone folder again to make sure they're nice and sharp, and fold the tab, which I've already pre-scored, but now that's a nice neat fold. So that envelope is ready to go with our card. So here we go with this. I'm quite nervous about making this, so I hope it all works out, and I hope I don't either mess it up or make it look too easy. So we've cut out our one of our panels for our boxes. And on the instructions, Carol showed me where to put my tape. And I've put my tape in exactly the same place as she has. And then we've got our second panel with no tape on it, just like she shows me. And now what we do is we're going to add the inside panels to the inside first. So the large panel is going to go on the large panel of the actual card, like this. We're going to marry up the edges and then press it down. And then I've got 3 side panels to go on the top sections of both parts of the box. I've already scored the lines, but I haven't folded them yet. So this is our second section. Again, just flat tape on the back, and we add these edge to edge, because these flaps are going to just fold over the sides, so you're going to see them when your box opens. So this is the second one, like that. So okay, so now we've got our 2 sections. Now I'm going to fold these 2 parts in, and I'm going to use my bone folder just to make sure they're nice and sharp creases. And I'm going to peel off the tape, and then this is, I think, where the magic might happen. There we go, peel the other side away. And then I take this section and I am going to add this flap over this side, like so. And then, now I'm turning it around so I can see, so I'm sorry. I'm going to do exactly the same here. I'll try and do it so that you can see. So it's edge to edge, like that. And then, oh, there we go. Okay. So I can just press it down to make sure they've stuck. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know which way is going to be best to show you. But inside, where the holes are, now we've got the tricky bit. I have to add my elastic band. And I'm going to say it's tricky. It isn't tricky, but I can't show you how I slide it on, because obviously my hand's in the box. So where you've made the slit lines in the actual tabs on the box, you slide the elastic band through those into the holes, like that. And that is the mechanism. Now, I'm thinking mine might be just about the right size, so I might get away with it. Now we can fasten the base together. Again, I've followed Carol's instructions for where the tape has to go to be folded in for the bottom of the box. Because obviously when you press it flat, the tabs, the bottom has to move with it. So we just press them together, and then we do the other side as well, because we're not fastening the centres together because it has to squash flat. So there we go. So that's the bottom. And now, as per instructions, you press it down to make sure it works. Oh, would you look at that? So far, so good. So I'm just going to press the bottom of my box in a little bit. So now we've got our tabs folded out. We can see the elastic band. We leave the back panel because we want that standing up. And now we're going to add our pop-up bits. I'm going to add 2 tabs across the box. But before I do that, Carol has said if you want to add acetate pieces, you can. So what I've done is I've cut just a couple of pieces of scrap acetate, and I've taken some of the actual decoupage that Carol's added, and I'm going to simply add them at the back just as extra. So you can add them at the back or the front. Could have added it at the front actually. That would work really well. And there, like that, so that it would spring out when you open the box. Like that. Just one more at the back. Like so. So then we can add the tabs that Carol's included to either side of the box. Now I know the acetate, you can add as much or as little as you like. You don't have to do that. It's just an added extra really. So we add the tabs into the box and they go straight across like that and fasten to the sides. So there's one tab, and then our second tab we put in a little bit closer to the front, like so, and then we decorate the tabs. I'm just using general double-sided tape, so there we've got our tabs as well. So you can see how the extra pieces of acetate would work as well to make everything pop out. But we're going to now decorate the tabs that we've included. I've got a sentiment that I'm just going to pop on the front. There we go. And then we can start having fun adding cupcakes to our tabs. Now the first cupcakes I'm adding are on flat tape, just so they go across the actual bar of the tab that we've put in. So I'm just adding them quite randomly. And then we've got hearts as well, different shapes. One more flat cupcake. And then we can start stepping up the cupcakes. And these are now on 3D foam. And I can start adding those just on top and or underneath, wherever you want. Carol's added so many embellishments that you can just have fun adding them and just keep adding them. Lots of flowers, more cupcakes, just wherever you want to add them so they look like they're spilling over. So I'm going to add one to the side there and one to the other side there. There we go. And you can see how you can build it up and build it so that it just all tumbles out. We've got the acetate pieces at the back, and then we've got all the layers of the cupcakes in the middle, and then it folds flat to go in the envelope to send to the person, that you're sending it to. And when they open it, boing, it all opens up. And you've got all the cupcakes spilling out, and they'll think you are so clever. It's just such a great design and works so well. And to think it all folds flat like that, and then the elastic band makes it spring open. So you can keep adding embellishments, add as much or as little as you like, and you've got the envelope that it will fit into. So I'd like to remind you of the cup number, and it's cup 528254_359, and you can see more of Carol's designs by going to www.craftsuprint.com. So I would just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.